Hi everybody, this is Professor Tadone, and I would like to welcome you to 414, the Community Promoting Wholeness. This is me. The picture's a little bit old, but it's still me. I do have a long history of nursing and community health. I've been a community health nurse since about 1996 in one aspect or another. Prior to that, I worked in the hospital as in adult med-surg and peds. I currently work in telemedicine every other weekend or every Saturday or Sunday, depending upon the month's needs at a local hospital. Our course content will include community nursing, community assessment, family nursing, nursing in several different specialty areas of the community, teaching and learning, epidemiology, and clinical experiences. Course due dates are found on your course calendar and include the following. The first week begins February 16th, which is the winter, and the very last class will be at the end of week 8, the week of April 13th, which at that time will have lots of flowers and it'll be spring. Yay! You'll have 2 weeks, weeks 4 and 5, and that's between March 9th and the end of the week of March 16th, to do your clinical simulations and experiences. The week of March 30th, there's no class. That is Easter break. And all coursework must be completed before the start of the next course at the very end of week 8. Different activities will be due during this course. You'll have journal entries, weekly online participation, windshield survey, target group project, and your field clinical experiences. Course participation. Different participation will occur weekly. We'll have online discussions, online activities, and student-led discussions. And I do ask for your course assignments that you upload your course assignments for your journals and your papers that are being turned in for grading during the weeks that they are due. Now you can put in your journals early if you choose, and you can put in your papers or your grids early. The only thing that really needs to be done according to the exact dates noted on your calendars are the DQs and DQ responses. Weekly journal entries must be submitted online in the weekly drop boxes, and each journal submission is graded according to the rubric, and I do grade very strictly on the rubric. Your journal prompts are found in the weekly assignments, and not every week will have a journal. I know that breaks hearts, but that's just the way it is. Some weeks you will not have a journal entry. Also, just so you know, journal entries must be submitted on time. If they are submitted late, they will receive a 0 for a grade. And if they are not submitted at all, you will receive an incomplete for that grade. Weekly participation. Most weeks you'll have DQs that are due. That is part of your participation, especially the response you have to your classmates' DQs. That is part of your course participation. And participation is expected of each student each week. The windshield survey is a survey of an area that you're familiar with, such as if you've always lived in the village of Fairport, you may choose to do your survey on the village of Fairport. If you've always lived in Bull's Head, part of the city of Rochester, you would do that. It's up to you. If you've done travel nursing in Anchorage, Alaska for 4 years and you love that area and you know it well, you would do your windshield survey on that. There is a wiki on the course page where you will put down where you would like to go for your windshield survey, and I'll let you know whether or not that's approved. And this will be done according to Anderson and McFarlane's Community Assessment Wheel. That's completely described in your book and also on the course page for your assignment. And when everything is all said and done, you're going to turn in a PowerPoint submission for your community assessment, and the grading will be done according to rubric. The other presentation you're going to do is the target group presentation. Target group presentation is the only group project that you have for this course. You've already been assigned your group, and as a group you will decide what you're going to do your seminar on and who it's going to be for. In other words, you may choose to do a target group presentation. Your target group is going to be pregnant women, and the subject or the health presentation may be how to feed a newborn infant. Or you might do something with a target group being 5 and 6-year-old children, with the health presentation being on the best way, oral health, the best way to brush their teeth. All different kinds of things. The sky's the limit for this. It does need to be a health presentation, and the target group can be anybody in the community that is not in the medical field. So you may not do something like teaching a group of nursing students how to give a shot. You can't do that. But it has to be, the target group has to be someone in the community. Presentation has to be a health presentation that is pertinent to that target group. This is due by the end of week 7, or during week 7, and this will also be done as a PowerPoint. And the PowerPoint, like your windshield survey, will be shared with your classmates during one of the DQs. This is also strictly graded according to rubric, and please refer to your CMS or Moodle page for your assignment details. And in the Moodle page or in your course site, you will find more information on this. Your clinical field experiences. Each student has to complete 32 hours of clinical time. Now this is according to New York State. This is the 24 hours of this is going to be for community practice experience, 4 hours for shadowing a discharge planner, and visiting 2 different community agencies for interview visits. The interview visits can be at any 2 community agencies you choose, and here's some examples of some you might want to use, and that's just examples. You schedule a time to visit these places, and then you call to see if they're accepting student visits. They may not accept student visits at this time, and if not so, then you can do a phone interview. However, I highly recommend, if you're able to, during your 2-week hiatus, go to those places so you can get first-hand knowledge of what goes on. And it's a really neat idea to go to places that you've been curious about or that you refer patients to, so you can see how they're run. And after you do that, you're going to develop a PowerPoint that includes both of the agencies that you were able to do. So for the first part of the PowerPoint, you will talk about Agency 1 or Agency 1, and the second part of the PowerPoint, we'll talk about Agency 2. You'll review the PowerPoint presentation with other students during a DQ and respond to 2 of your students' PowerPoints. So it's a really neat way for each student to get some ideas of what's available in the community and what these different agencies do. Your discharge planning experience is where you will spend 4 hours with a discharge planner of your choice at your facility or at a facility that is affiliated with your facility. And during this, shadow a discharge planner who's a nurse or a discharge planner who's a social. You may not shadow a nurse who does an occasional discharge. It has to be discharge planning as a primary function of that person's job. Once you're done with this, you're going to write up your experience in a grid, and if you already are a discharge planner or you have discharge planning experience as a discharge planner, then you'll just do an extra PowerPoint for a community agency visit. This rarely happens, and if so, you could talk to me if you choose to do something different. And finally, your CPE. This is 24 hours that you will need to go into the community and be with a community health nurse to see what they do and how they do it, and to assist with patient care in that field. An example of this would be school nursing. If you've already discussed this with me and we've sent out arrangements for you and you've called to set up your days and times with that person, then you're all set. If you did not hear from me with that, it's because of COVID, and during COVID crisis, we're having a lot of issues getting students into different places at this moment. So at this day and time, if you have not heard from me about a place that you are physically going to, you will be allowed to do what's called a CPE simulation substitution. There are simulations that have been approved by New York State that you will be able to do in place of this. And the third choice for this is if you're providing RN volunteer time during this course, you can use that time towards your 24 hours for your CPE. An example of this would be working in a COVID clinic, or if you are working in a homeless shelter. Anything where you are able to provide patient care that is totally volunteer, a non-paid position. If you do this, you'll need the signature of a person in charge at that particular place. And once again, please discuss this with me before you do it to assure that you can use this towards that. And you can use a combination of these also. For example, if you're doing 12 hours volunteer time, I can set up for you to do 12 hours of simulation here or 12 hours here. Any questions on the course can be done on question and answer forum, or you can email me any questions that are specific to assignments. Here's my email address. If you call me, you can call anytime between Monday through Friday until 7 p.m. and on the weekends until 5 p.m. I do work on weekends for telemed, so I ask if you call and you don't get me right away, leave a detailed message with your name and your phone number. I will frequently get voicemails or texts from students without leaving names, and I have no idea who's calling me. So please leave your name and a phone number for me to get back in touch with you in a good time. I prefer that you text me, however, or that you leave me an email, mainly because I do check my email several times a day, 7 days a week. So if you email me, I will be able to get back in touch with you. That's it for now. Thank you. I look forward to traveling through the community with you, and let's have some fun. I look forward to those springtime flowers. God bless and have an awesome day.